Right. Good afternoon, morning, and or evening or night, whatever time you happen to be reading this, watching this. Anyway, so this video is going to be on Antifa. Now, this is going to be my sixth time trying to do this because the last 5 times I started ranting and went off on a tirade, and I really don't want to have a video out there where I do that, but I digress. Here I am. So I saw recently that Antifa had brought firearms to one of their, meetings, one of their protests, whatever you want to call them, which I'm perfectly fine with Antifa, or anybody for that matter, protesting within the United borders of the United States or the borders of any free country. You're allowed to do it. You're allowed to have peaceful assembly and protest. Keyword being peaceful. And quite frankly, from my experience and what I've seen, Antifa is about the farthest thing from peace that there is outside of actual war. So, anyway, I digress. Antifa, what the fuck? Carrying firearms is going to lead to an inevitable result. It's going to lead to somebody getting shot, or somebody's getting shot and hurt or killed. And quite frankly, I know that if they were to meet me in real life, they'd probably think I was some kind of, right-wing extremist Nazi. But at the end of the day, I just want everybody to get along and, have a beer and a burger with each other, that kind of shit. But if this continues and this behavior continues, it's going to create an inevitable result. And that result's not going to be good. That result is either going to be severe just violence or civil war. Well, what essentially would be civil war in the United States, but it's not going to be the North versus the South. Instead, it's going to be everybody that has a head on their fucking shoulders versus Antifa. And that's going to be short-winded, irregardless. I still don't want it to happen. But I think the reason why Antifa is, I don't even think they have a huge following, but the reason why they do have a following at all in the first place, despite anybody that has cognitive thought and is able to look at them and be like, you guys are fascists. You're not anti-fascist, you are fascist. You are anti-fact, if anything. But I think the reason why they do have such a following is because we kind of have a poisoned generation, we'll say it for the sake of argument. Now, this poisoned generation didn't just come out of nowhere. This poisoned generation was created when extreme leftists got root and got foothold inside of the public education system. I'm not talking about college level. This starts in public education, K through 12. And they don't necessarily lie. They just plant seeds in history every now and again. They only tell you half-truths. They tell you the half of the truth that fits their narrative. And a lot of people, kids especially, don't have the wherewithal to go like, all right, maybe I should not take everything that this person says as absolute truth. Which, when I was younger, I was specifically told by my parents that don't believe everything an adult tells you. Just because a person's an adult doesn't mean that they're right. And that helped me a lot through my younger years, where I just kind of like, and this is a video for another time, but I'll briefly touch on it here, where I slowly shifted from being a liberal to being a libertarian. But everybody else, I don't know, I can't speak for every other kid that I knew back then. I can't. But from what I understand, most of them were just told to go to school and get good grades. Now, getting good grades implies agreeing with the teacher. So if you disagree with the teacher, you're guaranteed to get a lower grade than you actually would have. Much if you agree with him, you're guaranteed to get a higher grade than you normally would have. But this poisoning has created these group of people that are so spoiled and so sheltered that they think that acting the way that they do is helping the situation, as it were, in the United States and in the Western world in general. They don't understand that what they're doing is they're only driving a wedge further in between people that would normally every other day of the week get along just fine. They're taking people that are, people that are slightly on the left or slightly on the right that would normally be like, all right, we disagree on some stuff, let me buy you a beer. They're taking that wedge and they're driving it down that center. And they're pushing people further and further apart for no other reason than just simply they don't understand what the fuck they're talking about, and they're being violent douchebags. And I, for one, am one of those people that believe that humans can get along, we can live in peace. But the only problem is when I see people like this that believe so strongly in their own beliefs that they're willing to carry around firearms, I see a problem with the world, and I start to think that maybe, just maybe, that a shift needs to happen. Like maybe not necessarily something violent. I don't even want it to be violent. I just want people to wake up and realize that Nazis, yeah, neo-Nazis might actually be a thing. You know, a small party in of itself. Not even a party, just a small group of people. But here's the point: it's a small group of people. Just like communists are actually, I believe, communists are probably a bigger group of people within the United States than that neo-Nazis ever would be. But that is another video for another day. Anyway, in regards to Antifa, if they don't stop carrying around firearms, advocating for violence, and literally being fascists, a shift is going to happen. And if they continue down the path that they're going down, it's going to be ugly. And it's not going to be good for America or the Western world in of itself. Anyway, I will have a video out. Let's see, today's Saturday, so Monday is my next video date. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to be doing yet, but if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments below. Feel free to discuss this topic in the comments below, though I'm pretty sure that most of the people that I know that are going to watch this can agree with me that Antifa are a bunch of cunts. Anyway, I will see you guys Monday, and have a great morning, afternoon, evening, and or night, and see you later.